You're listening to The Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian, on Solar Radio.
Well, we figured we'd start off with a little bit of groove-o-matic from my radio buddy and guitar-playing pal, Blake Aaron. This is the Digital Guy Show. You're truly Bruce Nazarian, picking it up from Mike Parlett. If you're listening to us on Sunday on Solar, we hope you'll keep it solar on Sunday. And if you're listening any other day or time of the week, we want to thank you. And we understand we've got a whole bunch more folks listening today all around the world, and we want to say to them a very special welcome. We are happy to have new listeners all the time here on the Digital Guy Radio Show.
Hi, this is Greg Manning, and you're listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show, hosted by Bruce Nazarian.
And that is my musical pal, Greg Manning, who I have had the good fortune to be a good friend of for a number of years. Greg is going to be playing at the Lemonade Weekend 2.0 coming up. This is his current hot single with Alan Trotman. It's called Groove Me. That is Greg Manning, a significant talent if ever there was one. It's been very interesting to follow Greg's career over the last couple of years as he has gone from his very first CD, which I thought was pretty amazing and jumped on top of right off the bat. By the way, Greg is a legacy veteran of the Lemonade Weekend 1.0, and we are very much looking forward to having he and Ilan Trotman, who's on that record with him, both coming to the Lemonade Weekend 2.0. And hang on, Ilan, we'll make sure we get the paperwork done correctly. This is the Digital Guy Radio Show. We come to you live every Sunday between 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And we're back at our normal home this week, our normal time this week, because the time zones have all synchronized back up again. So for you in the UK, it's still midnight, but for us in the Americas, we are back to where we normally are. We're also very pleased to note that we have signed, sealed, and delivered the deal for Jazz in Pink to be performing with us on the Thursday night VIP kickoff party. And that, of course, is Gail Johnson and Karen Briggs and this lady, Althea Renee, my homegirl from Detroit. Althea is going to put us in the flow. Well, I certainly hope you are planning on making an appearance at the Lemonade Weekend 2.0 next March 27th through 30th, because Jazz in Pink is going to be there on our VIP kickoff party Thursday night from about 7 o'clock on at the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, which is going to be our base of operations right there in the heart of Hollywood, right next to the Hollywood and the Highland Center. And we are very thrilled to have Jazz in Pink on our opening night kickoff party. You are listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show. Yours truly, Bruce Nazarian, and we got a bunch of hellos to say. Magdalena Kovantseva is out there listening, along with Robert Fertile in the studio in Bavaria, and Paula Montgomery here in the USA, somewhere in Southern California, I suspect. Got a lot of great music, so stick around.
Hey, Dave Koz here, and you are listening to my buddy, Bruce Nazarian, the Digital Guy.
Thank you very much, DK. Here's a little something from the Summer Horns. Oh, a little Detroit Stevie Wonder music for you there. You haven't done nothing. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you sticking around with us. Got a lot of great music and a live interview with UNAM coming up at 5 p.m. in the second hour. Well, certainly hope you are enjoying whatever time of day and whatever day it is that you are listening to us. We are, like I said earlier, we are very pleased to note that we have apparently a whole gang of brand new listeners that are coming to us. And I want to say, as always, our very special thanks to Solar Radio itself for giving us this platform on Sundays to be able to reach out and touch the world via the wonderness of internet radio. And you can catch rebroadcasts about 7 or 8 times a week. Look at tdgradio.net. Dave Koz there with the Summer Horns. Thanks, Greg. It's time for
The Digital Guy's Funky Corner.
And thank you, Stephanie, because this week, kicking off the Funky Corner, we're going to go one more go-round with Herb Alpert and Putting on the Ritz. And boy, does this bring back memories of Young Frankenstein, the movie. And Peter Boyle in a tuxedo with a cane.
wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coats, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Sunday evening with their swell clothes, rubbing elbows. Come, let's fix the Rockefellers. Walk with sticks and umbrellas in their midst. Putting on the Ritz.
That'll get your dancing shoes on. Herb Alpert, of course, whose name needs absolutely no introduction to anybody that's out there. Putting on the Ritz, a little classic from the Great American Songbook, done up with a completely 21st century twist on the Digital Guy Show.
Hi, this is guitarist Terry Wallman. And right now, you're tuned to TDG Radio, the best music you'll find anywhere in the world.
Oh, thank you, Terry.
Come join me in March at the Lemonade Weekend. 4 days of music and friends, sun, and fun in the heart of historic Hollywood, California. It's going to be a blast, and you are invited.
Indeed,
looking forward to seeing you.
Indeed, it is definitely going to be a blast, and we are looking forward to watching you play, Terry, and having your lovely significant other, Melanie Taylor, there with you singing on the show. And, boy, we got a gang of artists coming along, over 60 contemporary jazz artists for the Lemonade Show, and 30 more for the Motortown Hollywood Review. Obrigado from Terry Wallman. Always love to stop in on Terry Woolman whenever he's playing around town. And also to drop in on Melanie Taylor, who he's frequently playing in conjunction with. Two of them seem to be a pair. What a great pair of talented artists. And we are very pleased to have both of them on the Lemonade Weekend lineup. Boy, it's going to be fun. Mel's going to be singing on the Saturday Night Motortown Hollywood Review Show. And Terry's going to be on the Lemonade Weekend Show on Friday. Oh, yeah.
You're listening to TDG Radio, your escape from the ordinary.
And I know somebody else that's going to be coming along and playing a bunch of music on the Lemonade Weekend, and that is this man, our pal Chris Standring. He's going to give you a little Oliver's twist, just to keep your toes tapping on the Digital Guys Show. So Chris is going to be part of a lot of different events on the Lemonade Weekend 2.0, including the session called Anatomy of a Great Record, which is sort of our producers segment, and that's going to be hosted by Paul Brown, and it'll feature Paul and Darren Ron and Chris Standring and Michael Broning, who produced the Althea Renee tune that we did a little bit earlier, and that was the first #1 flute record on the charts. My goodness gracious. So if you don't have tickets for the Lemonade Weekend yet, boy, what are you waiting for? Because the price will go up January 1st. Everybody knows this bass line. But you've never heard it like this before, because this is brand new from our pal Bob Baldwin from his CD called 20. And that is his 20th CD. Of course, this is Chameleon, but it's Chameleon 3000, and it features Reagan Whiteside and Gabriel Mark Hasselbach, who's going to be on the show. Gabriel will be on the Lemonade Show. So sit back and check out the funk while we get ready to move us into the something special part of the show. And right after that, Dennis Poole. And at the top of the second hour, my buddy Unam is coming along. And we are going to chat for about 20 minutes or so about music and stuff. Bob Baldwin with Chameleon 3000 and some special guests on that track, Reagan Whiteside and Gabriel Mark Hasselbach, who will be with, not with Bob necessarily, but Gabriel will be coming to the Lemonade Weekend and performing, and, who knows where these artists that are coming may show up, because
special from the Digital Guy.
We're going to do a lot of great, interesting stuff. And we want to send out good wishes, as always, for quick healing to our pal Jeff Golub, who's hit on some unfortunate times, but man, he still is making great music, and this is some of it. This is Pusher Man with the legend on organ Brian Auger from Jeff Golub, Train Kept a Rollin' CD. You're listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show, the best music from all around the world. Come on. It's sort of unfortunate for those of us who are really big fans of Jeff Golub, because he's a superb musician and a fantastic guitarist, and I think being a guitarist myself, I can say that with a fair amount of credibility. We're very disappointed that because of his current medical condition, Jeff has had to retire off the road for a while, but we're keeping our fingers crossed, sending out wonderful wishes into the universe. We hope you all will do the same for Jeff to recover soon, so that we can once again be blessed with seeing his music performed live by himself in person, Jeff Golub. That's Pusher Man there with Brian Auger from his latest CD. I certainly hope it won't be the last one that we get from the very talented Jeff Golub. Man, been a fan of his for a long, long time.
Hi, this is Josie James, and you're listening to my music on the Digital Guy Radio Show, hosted by Bruce Nazarian.
Thank you, Ms. James. We had a perfectly wonderful time having you come on down to Spaghettini and perform with us on the Celebrate George Duke show. And, man, you tore the place up. Here is from Josie's latest CD. This is La Musica. Definitely something special on the Digital Guy Show. Dennis Poole will be up in a little bit.
Here we are, the time is now. Don't be in a hurry. Don't let troubles get you down. And forget about your worries. Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you. Feel the beat that's dancing deep down
Josie James kicking it out there from her latest CD, that is La
You're
Musica.
listening to the Digital Guy Radio, the best music from around the world.
Hi there, this is Paul Hardcastle, and you're listening to the Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian.
Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate that very much. A little something of yours. We don't get an opportunity to play a whole lot of yours, and that's an unfortunate omission on our part, but we're going to remedy that right now with a little something called Summer Love. Right here on the Digital Guy Radio Show as we start heading around towards Dennis Pool time. And at the top of the second hour of the show, we've got UNAM coming on live for a great interview. So stick around for that. Tell all your friends and buckle in. Stick around on the Digital Guy Show.
Was it just a summer love? Was it just a summer love? This music's got me hypnotized. Baby, play it all night. Electric colors drifting in my mind. Yeah, it's gonna be alright. Don't you know I wanna get to know you, but maybe you don't understand. Don't you know I'll do anything you want to. Was it just a summer love? 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 Don't you know I wanna get to know you, but maybe you don't understand. Don't you know I'll do anything you want to. You can help me pass the time all day, all night. And when you're ready to feel the high, the picture comes to life. No one like the others. Was it just a summer love? Summer love. Was it just a summer love? 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 I'm not like the others, but maybe you don't understand. Don't you know I'm not like the others. I'll do anything you want to. Just a summer love. Just a summer love.
Well, I'll tell you, Paul can do more with two chords than a lot of people can with a whole rainbow kaleidoscope of music. Paul Hardcastle from Hardcastle 7, that is Summer Love. love those delightful vocals. I'll bet you that. I'm not going to check the credits, but I'll bet you that's Becky Biggins, because I think she's been doing the more recent stuff. Of course, I might get caught out on that, but you never know. It is time for
The Digital Guy New Music Feature with Dennis Poole.
Indeed, as we usually do at this time in the show, it is time for us to check in with our pal Dennis Poole from smoothjazztherapy.com and get his recommendation on a new piece of music. This week, Dennis has gone for a track from someone whose music is increasingly identifying her as the wild child of contemporary jazz. And in fact, the music of that lady, Candy Dulfer, has always had an off-the-chain element to it, and with such albums as Funked Up and now this album Crazy, this aspect of her playing is becoming ever more pronounced. I'll tell you, that is one funky playing gal. Not that anyone's complaining, and with only a few notable exceptions, her current CD, Crazy, is a high-energy combination of funk and Europop. And a case in point is this week's selection, Please Don't Stop, with vocals from Chance Howard delivering sexiness and funkability in dazzling equal measures. So here is Dennis's pick for this week. It is Please Don't Stop from the sultry saxtress from the Netherlands, Miss Candy Dulfer, right here on the Digital Guy Radio Show. Stick around, top of the hour, UNAM's coming up right after this great stuff.
To the middle, baby, please don't stop. Shake it down to the lower, let it drop. Bring it back where I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby. Move a little to the middle, baby, please don't stop. Shake it down to the lower ground, let it drop. Bring it back where I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby.
You know how I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby.
Just like that, baby, just like that.
You know how I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby.
Just like that, baby, just like that.
Kisses in the morning make me horny, baby. Please don't stop. Your incredible body is incredibly hot. Wanna taste you in my mouth and make you shiny. I know how you like it, baby. I know how you like it, baby. Kisses in the morning make me horny, baby. Please don't stop. Your incredible body is incredibly hot. Wanna taste you in my mouth and make you shiny. I know how you like it, baby. I know how you like it, baby.
You know how I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby.
Just like that, baby. Just like that.
You know how I like it, baby. You know how I like it, baby.
Just like that, baby, just like that. Now what am I gonna do? 'Cause I can't take my eyes off you, take my mind off you, keep my hands off you. You're breaking me, making me lose
piano, man, that transcends funky, and that has gone all the way off the deep end to smoking. That is Candy Dulfer from a CD called Crazy. Please don't stop. Love those soulful vocals from Chance Howard on there. Great band she's got. Candy Dulfer on the Digital Guy Radio Show. Coming to you live on Solar on Sundays, or whatever day you are listening to us, whatever time of day you're tuning in. We're very happy to have you along with us and invite you to come back every week at this time on this station. This is UNAM's brand new band called Niveau 2. It is a collaboration between UNAM and saxophonist Shannon Kennedy. We're going to be talking to UNAM at the top of the second hour, coming up in about 8 minutes. In the meantime, stick this in your ear, Love's No Distance, because this is hot, 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 hot. Well, nothing like coming out of the box with something very cool for a brand new single with a brand new band. But we expect always great stuff from our buddy UNAM. And he'll be up at the top of the hour to chat with us a little bit about a lot more music, too. That is Love's No Distance, the first single from the EP from a brand new band called Niveau 2, which features UNAM and Shannon Kennedy. Now, I have been enjoying the living daylights out of a brand new CD that bassist, very, very fine bassist Roberto Valli just released. And Roberto was kind enough to send it off to me so I could savor all this wonderful stuff. I'm going to stick this in your ear as we head towards the top of the hour, because this is just too cool not to listen to. It's called Jazz Trance. You are going to love the CD. And if you missed the name, it is from bassist Roberto Valli, V-A-L-L-Y. He's very well known around Southern California and all around the world.
You're listening to The Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian, on Solar Radio. Behind the Music, with The Digital Guy.
All right, buckle your seatbelts, all you fans of fantastic music. We've got Unam on the line, and he'll be with us in about 30 or 45 seconds. Well, unless you've been under a rock, you know that the strains of that song. That, of course, is Street Life, which came back along a second go-round, courtesy of our guest today, UNAM, who has a much longer name than that, but we know him and love him as UNAM, and that, of course, was Street Life from 2007. Big hit record for our guest today, UNAM. Hello, UNAM. Bonjour.
Hey, hi Bruce, bonjour Bruce. How are you?
I'm very well, UNAM. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're all the time teaching and making music and jamming and playing around and working on all kinds of stuff, but we're happy to have you here on the Digital Guy Radio Show this Sunday.
Sure thing, my pleasure, man. Anytime.
Okay, we are listening to a little bit of Street Life, and of course, you know, you put in, I'm sure, 10,000 hours of learning how to play that doggone guitar long before you created the album back from the 80s. But why don't you just give our listeners who may not be familiar just an idea of how long you have been doing this, because you have been doing this for a good while.
Oh yeah, actually, it's funny because I mean, you know, when you start to think back about when you started and how old you are now and stuff like that, you know, it's like, oh wow, it's been a long time. It's like, cause I just turned 43 was last week actually.
Oh, congratulations!
And you know what, I'm saying that because I'm like, well, you know what? It's been more than 30 years that I'm playing guitars now. It just sounds weird, but it just makes me feel like, wow, already, you know. And so yeah, I started when I was 12, you know. So you know, had like my background and is pretty interesting and different. You know, started doing some you know, top 40 band and stuff, you know, like in weddings and bar mitzvah, whatever, when I was like you know, teenager, when I was like 17, something like that, and started, you know, professionally like doing sessions pretty early, like when I was 18, something like that, you know, a lot of French pop and this and that, and then move on to more like producing, and that's what I did for more than 20 years in France, you know, working with like major labels and doing things like you know, Fame Academy and Pop Stars, and working with big acts all around Europe and in France, and then, you know, at some point like doing my own thing and touring the world and being there today to talk with you.
So exactly, and we're very happy to have you here. And for those of you who are thinking that you can just like, you know, wake up one morning and magically a bolt of lightning strikes you and you can play guitar this good, let me tell you, it takes a lot of years to get that kind of facility. We're going to be queuing up here another record that you did a fantastic version of, and this of course was a George Duke record that we almost did at our show a couple of weeks ago, and you and I had talked about you coming and doing this, but we couldn't get the schedule together. This is Shine On. We're going to just give a little listen to this so people can hear UNAM on guitar, and then we'll come right back, my friend.
Okay, I'll be there.
I know you will. Our special guest with us is UNAM on guitar, and this is Shine On from UNAM. So it takes a very good mastery of the guitar to be able to make it sing, and especially to be able to make it perform what was essentially a vocal track originally, and capture all the nuance of that. And my friend, from one guitarist to another, I tell you, you nailed that one.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah. You know, it's a pretty good point that you just like were you know, just like mentioned, because you know, most of the people, I mean, you know, obviously you know, like doing like, you know, really fast and complicated technical, you know, things on the guitar and you know, whatever. It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, whatever. But you know, with practice, you know, you can't do it. I mean, you know, a lot of people can do it, but to me, at some point, once you I did get that, and once you get that, really the thing is to try to put some soul into what you're playing.
Oh yeah.
And especially melody, and especially when, like you said, it's a vocal tune. And anytime I try to do that, try to find a way that, because it's weird, but the guitar is not that expressive as the saxophone, for example.
Correct.
Which is more like that would be what is closer to like a voice.
Exactly.
Guitar is like, that's especially like the jazz guitar sound doesn't have much sustain, and it's kind of fight with the music, the playback, the other instruments. So like to having like coming out and really make sure that the melody and you can feel it or whatever. And actually it's pretty a lot of work as well, and pretty yeah.
Yep.
So
No,
I'm trying to do that all the time.
You do that all the time, and one of the things that I always remark about your playing is very melodic, even though you have the facility to be able to do what we call flash riffs, which is basically rip up and down the neck and play incredibly fast. But playing fast is one aspect of facility on the guitar, but being able to play soulfully and to bring out the soul of a human-voiced melody is a remarkable thing, and that's the mark of someone who truly understands his instrument, and that is really obvious in this particular tune. That's why I played it. This is from your CD Unanimity, which was in 2009. So had you come to America by then?
Yeah, I did it. That album is pretty interesting. I did it. I would say I did half of it in France and half of it here, because I started, just before I moved out, and I moved like from Paris to LA. Maybe, and when I say just, I'm like saying like even like a couple weeks before I leave, I was finishing like all the recording session in Paris. Like the strings, the piano, it's the real acoustic piano that you hear on the track on Shannon, the strings as well, the percussion, stuff like that. And then I brought back with me all the hard disk drive and everything, and then I finished to. Here in LA, I did more drums and then did my guitars and then do the mixing and things. So I was half and half. That album I really has been made, half in France and half here.
Well, it doesn't sound like a half and half record, my friend. I have to tell you, it sounds very good and consistent from start to finish. And so whatever you were thinking, it managed to hold itself cohesively together while you made your way across the Atlantic and landed here in L.A. And then, of course, you, I'm sure, remarked off into being incredibly busy, because the next track that I've pulled from here is from your Weekend in L.A. tribute to George Benson, which is in 2012, and that was very interesting because if I remember correctly, didn't you crowdsource the financing on that to get the budget?
Yeah, as well, some of it, because obviously.
Well, I know.
It was just a part of it.
Well, let's listen just a little bit here. This is a beautiful tune, Love Times Love from UNAM, and we'll come right back. Oh yeah, that is just an incredibly beautiful tune, originally from George Benson. So, I mean, a lot of people who hear you play have a tendency to remark that your style can be, at many times, very evocative of George Benson. And obviously, I suspect he was one of your guitar heroes when you were first putting your fingers on the guitar.
Oh, yeah, obviously. And that's why actually I did that. That tribute album, the George Benson tribute album, is really interesting because it's funny, because back in, I was in like 2006, 7, whatever, when I was doing my album back from the 80s, I already did an album before that, and already starting to have people like compare me to like, you know, George playing whatever. I'm like, yeah, you know what, you know, I'm not George. So when I was doing back from the 80s, I did half the album. I did a bunch of covers as well, and I never wanted to like cover a George Benson tune. So, but I did one actually on the album. I did Turn Your Love Around, but I did pick that one because it wasn't playing any guitar on it. So there was just vocals. So there was no like, you know, you can't tell. But then finally, you know, like as, you know, years, you know, passed by and whatever, and a lot of different reasons as well, you know, I had to do that tribute to George Benson because there was so many articles everywhere. So many people were saying, you know, blah, 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 your style and this and this. And obviously George is a huge influence on me. I mean, on a lot of guitar players, but on me, but not just the guitar. I mean, you know, it's mostly as well like the song, the way he was speaking songs, his career, the, you know, the human being and everything. So
well, I know that we can both agree for sure that George is not the only person who is, you're not the only person who he's had a tremendous influence on, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So we are enjoying listening to Love Times Love from the Weekend in LA CD. Hold on a second. Let's give this just a little bit more exposure, and then we'll come right on back. Now, what's interesting is you have also teamed up on occasion with some great vocalists, and I know that on a couple of tracks in particular that I've enjoyed from you, you've teamed up with Tim Owens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, what I was just like barely saying in my background, you know, mostly what I was doing in France was producing R&B, soul, and hip-hop, and some pop as well, and it was all vocal tune. I mean, you know, that's what I spent all my life. So obviously at some point, you know, I wanted going back to do some more vocal songs as well, not just me playing. And obviously with George Benson, he's well, we just talk about him playing and all the influence he had on like thousands and thousands of guitar players, but as well he's one of the most amazing like R&B singer. He's got both of it. So, you know, I had to find, you know, few people that can like sing some tunes because I was not feeling like doing just like an instrumental album. And Tim Owens, which is one of a really, really good friend. I mean, I know him for a long time. We had like a friend in common, and you know, throughout the years, we never had the time to like, or the chance to like work together. And I met him by chance here. I was just visiting, and I saw him playing in a club, and then I go back to France and come back and whatever. But so at some point we finally like team up together. We did actually one song first called Act Like You Know. That was like an one-off song, and then you know, I called him up on the album, on the George Benson tribute album, and man, he did like an amazing, incredible job because that was not easy. I mean, to like put on. I mean, I know what it is. I mean, you know, like put on like a George's shoes, you know, or really like on the guitar stuff, like Love Time Love you were playing, you know, I redid exactly the same guitar solo in the middle because it's such a beautiful guitar piece. But like on Give Me the Night, same thing. We replayed exactly the same scat solo because if you don't do that, to me it's not Give Me the Night. So
right.
And Tim has to do the same thing, you know, had to like put, you know, George's shoes, and well, it takes a lot of courage, you know? Well,
it's he certainly did a wonderful job for you, and it's very clear that your production expertise allowed you to zone in on someone who can evoke that vocal expertise, the same style that George has, and what's made him quite a remarkable vocalist as well as a remarkable guitarist. We're just listening to your brand new single, C'est Le Funk, which also features Niveau 2. Let me just spin it up a little bit, and we'll come right back and wrap things up here. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about how Niveau 2 came about, and also we want to make sure that we talk to people about where they can find you online, and let people know that you're going to be performing as part of the Lemonade Weekend. So
oh yeah, that's for sure. Well then, about Niveau 2, just to make it quite short, actually my wife is she's a saxophone player. Her name is Shannon Kennedy, and she had some albums on her own as well and stuff like that. And we work, together. Like she was playing all the saxophone on the tribute George Benson tribute album, on the horn section, and I'm doing some work on her stuff like mixing or like playing guitar here and there. But then at some point I said, well, we have a passion both together for the 80s, and we're like, oh, we should like put together a project, like with the 80s influence, because she's born way after the 80s, but she's really a huge fan of it, but she didn't, like experience the era. And I grew up in the 80s because I was 10 in 1980. So we did that, and we did our first single that did pretty good last summer in the chart, and then an EP, and then I'm going back to my new album as well. That's what you just played.
Right.
And, that's the new single actually. So that's pretty much what it is with Niveau 2 actually.
Well, it's working, and it's got a really good groove on it. I certainly hope that's one of the things that we might be fortunate enough to hear you play as part of what you're going to do on the Lemonade Weekend show.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, you know what? I just want to say one more thing about that song. I mean,
yeah,
it was something I was working on. I'm like, okay, let me do. I wanted to go back to like all the old funk stuff that I really like the Nile Rodgers and Chic and Kool and the Gang, and it seemed there was some kind of revival lately with like Bruno Mars and Daft Punk and stuff like that, which I think was really good. So I'm like, okay, I would like to like get that vibe too, and just did the song. But you know what? We're going for out officially on radios tomorrow, and we already had some ads in AV Airplay, and in France it's getting like amazing, and we had like already have a couple number ones in some radio station playlist or whatever, and then on and it's like it sounds like everybody really likes the song, so that's pretty fortunate, and we see how it goes. But we will definitely play it at the Lemonade Weekend, that is for sure.
Well, that would be fabulous, because we had a wonderful time with you at Lemonade 1.0. You were there with Art Sherrod and the rest of the band that was playing with him, and of course doing the great UNAM stuff that you do. But you'll get your own segment this time out, because it's appropriate, and we wanted to say thank you very much for spending some time and coming down for the Lemonade Weekend 1.0. It really was a wonderful thing, and we are looking forward to you being on Lemonade 2.0. And before we get away, we got about under a minute on this particular one, and we got one more tune we're going to spin to close things off. But where can people find you online, your web URL?
Yeah, well, I just get a brand new website, so that's starting to be pretty cool. It's www.unammusic.com, UNAM music, music.com, unammusic.com.
unammusic.com. Okay, and everybody can find all of your downloads at all the usual download places. And I got to tell you, this record that we're listening to right now, C'est La Funk, it slipped out, and people all over the internet are picking it up, because the internet underground radio jock network is once we get a hold of one, we're gonna go. So UNAM, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. We are very much appreciative of you coming by to say hi. And we're going to close the show out with Turn Your Love Around, and welcome you to the next gigs that you've got, which hopefully one of these days we'll see you again with Graffiti, because I kind of feel like a little personal affinity for you being in that band. We'll talk to you soon, and thank you again for your time. Turn Your Love Around. Our guest this week, UNAM.
So welcome.
All right, my friend.
Thanks so much, Bruce.
Okay,
Thanks
take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, you can say a whole lot of things, but the one thing that you have to say right up front when you're talking about UNAM is that man can play some guitar. I'll tell you. And he's been a very friendly spirit. I've very much appreciated the fact of how well we've got to know each other over the last couple of years since basically since before Lemonade 1 in 2011, and we've just sort of kept running into each other along the way. Always a lot of fun, and great thanks. Our special guest this week on the Digital Guy Radio Show has been the fantastic guitarist UNAM, who has a new band, Niveau 2, and still putting out great records on his own. UNAM.
The Digital Guy Flashback Track.
Now, if you don't know what we do on the Digital Guy Show, maybe you're not familiar with flashback tracks. We take stuff that hasn't gotten a lot of airplay, and we play it for you. Like this from Tower of Power. Funk the Dumb Stuff. Nothing like a little vintage Tower of Power there for you. Funk the dumb stuff. Just reminding you to funk the dumb stuff, and everything else will take care of itself. We're doing flashback tracks here on the Digital Guy Show. And keeping it kind of funky with some Kool and the Gang. I don't know what possessed me. I just love this when I heard it. I figured we'll spin it up for you guys. Called Funky Stuff from Kool and the Gang. As they go funkin' off into the distance, Kool and the Gang there. Something a little funkier, but a little different kind of tip. This is Joe Sample. Hope you're all going to have 7 years of good luck, just like this tune says. 7 years of good luck from Joe Sample. Boy, I tell you, that's got some beautiful harmonic structures there, and they're just incredible on top of an amazing groove. Really love that. Really, really, really love that tune. I can't tell you enough. You're listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show as we keep exploring our flashback tracks. We're going to go back to 2002 with Huge Groove for Belle Maria from the Playdate CD. And this will help us kind of start winding down as we sort of start heading for closing time. Well, we got a lot more to go, so stick around. Well, we got one more queued up here as part of our little flashback sojourn here. That, of course, was Huge Groove. Boy, you sure can tell that's saxophone sound. Belle Maria is that track from the Playdate CD from a number of years back, 2002 to be specific. And we're going to drop back for a little thing from Fatburger just to kind of move us a little closer on. I really love this one, but rarely get a chance to play it. But since it's a favorite, we'll do that. This, of course, is 100 Ways from the Work to Do CD, Fatburger 2004, and that's pretty much going to wrap up our flashback tracks for this week on the Digital Guys Show. Find 100 ways to listen to us every week. from Fatburger, the little old band from San Diego way. And if I've got my facts correct, I believe that is Evan Marks on guitar, who played with us.
The Digital Guy.
On the Lemonade, no, wait, yes, with, Lemonade 1. Here we go. And here's another Lemonade artist, Brad Ramberg. And he'll be joining us at Lemonade 2.0 Friday night for the the Citrus Music Awards show, Lemonade Weekend 2. a multifaceted multi-instrumentalist. That is Brad Ramber with Into the Blue from his debut CD, Can't Put It Down. Fine, fine work it is too. If you don't know Brad and you for some reason have missed any of his shows, you may not be aware that he is equally adept on guitar as he is on saxophone, which of course gives me no end of frustration because it's really hard to go sit in on his shows because he can play guitar. Oh well. We scoured the planet to find the very best artists that we wanted to bring to the Lemonade Weekend, and especially to the Motortown Hollywood Review. And here is one such great artist that I had the great fortune to work with a couple of weeks ago. This is Eddie Backus Jr. And ironically enough, doing a classic Motown tune from Marvin Gaye, Your Precious Love, with Chris Big Dog Davis. Just relax and drink in this great saxophone playing. that man can play some saxophone. That, of course, is Eddie Bacchus Jr., and like I said, I had the great pleasure to play with Eddie and the Utopian Dreams Band a couple of weeks ago up in Northern California area. And man, that was one hellified fun gig, I got to tell you, because Eddie's a monster, certified monster on whatever horn it is that he chooses to play. That was Your Precious Love, of course, Motown classic. We're going to do something just a little bit different this evening. Instead of closing out with Renato Falaschi and Rocco Ventrella's Waiting in Vain, we're going to savor the wonderful groove and mellow harmonics of this from Art Porter. It's called Broken Promise. But I'm going to make you a promise, and that is I'll be back next week, same time, same place, wherever it is and whenever it is that you're listening to us on The Digital Guy Show, and you have to make me a promise in return. And that is, between now and then, please look after and support the artists whose music that you love, because they're really dependent upon you. So that means buy their records and go support their live shows, and tell them when you see them that you think they're fantastic, if you think they are, because a little soul nourishment goes a long way. I'll see you on the next go-round. Until then, on behalf of myself, Dennis Poole, y'all take care. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, and pick up some tickets for the Lemonade Weekend, because, boy, you don't want to miss this. Trust me. LemonadeWeekend2.com.